Me and my ex are both 29 and got together during our junior year at high school. By the age of 21, we got pregnant, and I'm incredibly ashamed to say this, but that was the first time I stepped out on her. For some reason beyond my understanding, she decided to stick it out with me. Although I never talked to another woman or stepped out after that, I was a terrible boyfriend, and I never made her feel secure like I should have. She, on the other hand, is the most faithful and caring person I've ever met, and she was always there for me, wanting to cuddle, asking how my day was, and talk to me about my interests. She never did anything to make me feel any sort of suspicion about her. And about 6 years ago, we both left our families and moved to Texas. We both got a job at the same store, but I started working an overnight shift, which was from 10 at night until 6:30 in the morning, and she worked the day shift, which was from 7:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. We chose this route so I could be home during the day and watch our son, which meant we could avoid paying for daycare. After some time, while working at this store, I started to develop an obsession with one of my coworkers, who's also one of my partner's close friends.
Of course she is.
I got pictures of my coworker from a friend of mine who was involved with her at the time, and of course my girlfriend found out. Even after that, she still stuck with me. Needless to say, ever since this, she was extremely insecure about this woman. About 6 months ago, my girlfriend started hanging out with a group of coworkers, and this group included a guy that she started a friendship with. Because I trusted her, I was mostly unbothered by it, even though I knew he was interested in her. My girlfriend said she wasn't interested in him in that way, so I let it go. About a month and a half ago is when everything came to a head, and I started hooking up with my partner's friend, the one I mentioned earlier.
That was not smart.
A few weeks later, unknowing of my infidelity, my girlfriend told me that she thinks we should break up. She said that she felt like I wasn't there for her, and she's been holding in a lot of feelings for so long that she's numb and doesn't have feelings for me anymore. A few days later is when she found out about me and her friend. In short, she caught us in the act. There really wasn't much to talk about since we were already broken up, but ultimately she felt betrayed by me and her supposed friend. The day after that, at 10 at night, she told me she was going to a sleepover at a coworker's house, which I thought was strange because she'd never done anything like that before, and she had work the next morning. I come to find out the next morning that she slept over at a male friend's house, and despite my actions, this really hurt me because she's not the type of person who can sleep with another man in an act of revenge. She has to be highly emotionally invested to do that, which signaled to me that she had feelings for him while we were together. I can't blame her, though, because she would never entertain another man if I was being the man I should have been. A week after we broke up, she and the kids had a 9-day-long out-of-state trip planned, which left me alone in the house to think about my actions. This was the worst week of my life. I was with my girlfriend for 12 years, and I don't think I cried once during that time, but I cried almost every day when she was gone. The thought of not having my kids in my house if she decided to move out made me sick, and the thought that I drove her into the arms of another didn't help. The thought that I threw it all away for a woman who couldn't hold a candle to my girlfriend hurt me. I've never felt like this before. In retrospect, our relationship was probably over long before she voiced it to me. For 6 years, we would only see each other for 20 minutes a day because of our work schedule, and she felt like I wasn't there for her and didn't make her feel secure. But I felt like I did so much by working overnight, watching the kids a majority of the time, and doing a majority of the cooking and cleaning around the house. I would work from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., come home, watch the kids from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and sleep for 4 hours, then do it all over again. Now we're broken up and there is no animosity between us, but we still live together because we have 2 kids, a house, and don't really make enough money to separate, and our work schedules are dependent on each other. The dynamic between us is strange because now she's always going out with her friend and leaving me at home to watch the kids on my off nights. She even asked me to request 2 days off work so she can spend the night at this new guy's house. A part of me feels like it's unfair, but a part of me feels like I deserve it, so I'm willing to accept it in order to placate her, to keep my family in my house. In the back of my head, I'm hoping that she just wants to have some fun and will eventually come back to me, but I think I pushed her past her limit. even if she didn't have this friend, I don't think she'd want me back. I find myself feeling so lonely. She was the only person who cared for me unconditionally, and I don't have that now. Just being around her makes me tear up because I miss her, and I 100% took her for granted. The other day I was so sad and all I wanted was a hug from her, but I was scared to ask. Out of fear, she wouldn't want to hug me. What makes me even more sad is that she still does care about me, even though I don't feel like I deserve to be cared about. She told me that she's glad she had her kids with me because I'm the best dad, but I'm just not a good boyfriend. I want to show her that I can be the man she wanted, but it seems like it's futile. She's all I've known since I was 16, and it's hard for me to accept that it's most likely over.
In this situation, I have no sympathy for OP. And while he can sit around all day and cry about what he lost, if he really cared about his girlfriend, he never would have treated her in such a way. I honestly hope that she's able to find someone more suitable, someone who'll actually care about her, and not stab her in the back multiple times like OP has done. Anyway, let's see what our friends down in the comments have to say about all this.
Bite Me says, "You messed around and found out. You don't have to live with catching her in the act. It's absolutely weak and pathetic. Let her go and be with someone who actually loves and cares about her. You have only yourself to blame. You get to live with hurting just her, but she gets to live with catching you banging her friend. She got betrayed twice." Wolverine says, "I hope that her new relationship works out because she deserves so much better. If you ever truly cared about her, you would have put more effort into your relationship. Instead, you decided to put the effort into sleeping with her friend." No Celebration says, "You only had 4 hours of sleep a day, yet you still managed to find time to date and sleep with another woman, instead of using that time to focus on your marriage."
I can't argue with any of the comments here, as what OP did to his girlfriend was truly disgusting. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.